My name is Somashekar, course faculty for this course. Hello friends, very good morning to one and all. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture 29. Please note, you have studied in the last lecture the followings: power conversion in different actuations, comparison of three actuation technology, remarks on actuation technology, electro hydraulic actuator also known as EHA, three different possible configurations of EHA based on the motor and a pump configurations, then how to realize the EHA for a particular application, how to select the pump, BLDC motor, sensors, non-return valve, pressure relief valve, actuators and many more. Conceptual design, how to achieve through the CAD model I have shown. Experimental setup built with all these components as a single unit. Control strategy, various responses for the step input, and also tuning has been done through the PID controller, fuzzy PD. In today's lecture, we will discuss in detail the role of modeling and simulation in hydraulic components, a case studies. Here I am taking you one of the main valve, jet pipe electro-hydraulic servo valve, which consists of a numerous parts. How to carry out the system modeling and simulation to predict the performance parameters, including static and dynamic characteristics. Let us will see the organization of presentation. Quickly we will recap on the syllabus now and how much syllabus we covered as of now. Introduction to modeling and simulation, role of modeling and simulation, detailed modeling and simulation of jet pipe electro-hydraulic servo valve. Here methodology adapted in the current study is finite element method. Here first we are using for stiffness analysis of precision and delicate components and their validation through experiment. Extended to steady state FE analysis on torque motor and a feedback spring assembly. Dynamic analysis, here complete valve dynamics. Here I am bringing the modeling concept of fluid structure interaction, design of feedback loop and implementation in the FEM. Frequency response, very important in the servo valves, predicting the operating bandwidth of the valve, and ultimately we must know the natural frequency of the valve. Finally, I will conclude today's lecture. Please note friends, I have made the mathematical analysis as much simple, but most of the work is published in the book Modeling and Analysis of Jet Pipe Electro-Hydraulic Servo Valve in 2010, which will give you the complete dynamics, mathematical analysis, theoretical approach of the jet pipe electro-hydraulic servo valve. But as a last class it is, I will make the modeling and simulation very simple, as because in 50 minutes it is difficult to cover the entire modeling and simulation of the jet pipe electro-hydraulic servo valve. Who are interested to know more about this, you may get in this book. Also, the many papers are there on the steady state analysis of the jet pipe electro-hydraulic servo valve, mathematical modeling of servo valve, and actuator dynamics using the MATLAB Simulink. Lot of materials are available, written by me only it is. Please go through it, but as of the hydraulics and pneumatic is concerned, this is the subject, this is the chapter we introduce to you the some basics how modeling and system simulation is used to predict the dynamic behavior. That is the main motto, please remember friends. See friends, now here we have made a long journey from the introduction, basic laws and symbol, pumps, compressed air, compressors, air dryers, various valves, actuator, various subsystems, circuit design and analysis meant for both hydraulics and pneumatics, and then hydrostatic transmission, correct, servo and proportional valves. You will see here there are many lecture hours I am taken to cover all the things. These are the heart of the air hydraulics and pneumatic course. Later I introduce servo valve and proportional valve and modeling and simulation. These are the complete course in IIT Madras on the servo and proportional valves. Here what I made a very simple to give you the glitch on the electro-hydraulic servo valve, proportional valves and modeling and simulation. That is the main motto friends, to motivate you to read much further on these concepts. Introduction. Already we know that what is the need for modeling and simulation. Modeling means there are various methods are there for modeling. Mathematical modeling is there, empirical modeling is there, heuristic modeling is there, many more are there, correct, based on the requirement, prediction of the parameter. You may use any modeling and simulation technique, but you will remember whatever it may be, the highest product quality is ensured before manufacturing the product. Similarly, improved safety, efficiency optimization and maximum profitability is ensured if you adopt modeling and simulation, and system monitoring, meaning condition monitoring is possible once the process model is complete. Example, I will tell you what is the system modeling and simulation. Here I am taking an example of electro-hydraulic servo valve. Already we know that is a mechatronic component, consists of mechanical parts are there, electromechanical parts are there, electronic parts are there, many delicate and precise hydraulic components are there. Along with that, there are the various sensors. So, how to model all these things as a single unit? That is the motto of the work today. Proper integration and functioning of these items are essential in complete dynamics of valve in terms of power, reliability and frequency. So, we must know the following carefully. Flow and pressure variation, this is a very heart of the hydraulic component analysis. You must know how the flow and pressure variation taking place in all the parts of the hydraulic circuits. Then external forces and their impact, controller design and fine tuning of it to get the better results, meaning better settling time, correct, better response, reducing the overshoot, many things you are seen in the previous classes. sensor characteristics, closed loop performance, how it is, because electrohydraulic servo valve is a closed loop system, meaning you have to ensure the feedback from the actuator to the summer to correct the given input, meaning desired input and the final output should match each other, correct. We have seen already in the last class. Then frictional and flow forces. Also try to incorporate this to make the model simple. Already please we know that friends, plenty of simulation tools are available for analysis of fluid power circuits, namely the Fluid Sim, MA Sim, Automation Studio, bond graph modeling, MATLAB Simulink, FE solvers and many more friends. You know already, people one or the other commercially available softwares based on the requirement they are using in the industry to solve the fluid problem. Let us will see modeling. Modeling, as I have told you, many things are there. First and foremost thing people are adopting is a heuristic model. Heuristic model is nothing but friends, it is a common sense modeling, the minimum cost physical modeling it is. For example, as I have told you, heuristic model, it is a common sense. One big almirah is there in the small room and door is very small. How to take it out this almirah outside? People are trying to bending, lifting, correct, many ways to take this almirah out of the room by their initiatives, how to take it out. This is called a heuristic modeling approach. This is very essential when you have to tackle the some of the problems. When the engineers are having a large number of experience, they will adopt very quickly the heuristic modeling to solve the problem. Next one is a mathematical model. If you know the system of equations for the system, whatever you will consider, mechanical system, electrical system, whatever the system, if you know the set of equations mathematically, then it is very easy to simulate this. Next one is physical system modeling. Next one is dimensional analysis, which is very essential when we are fixing the tolerances on the various delicate parts. Numerical modeling, which is a very quick, but you may not guess 2 plus 2 equal to 4. Numerical models are like a finite element models, your what you will call the lumped simulations, correct. They will approximated models, but they will give very quick result, but the user has to identify whether the simulated results correct or not. When people are doing the numerical simulation, it requires the mathematical modeling or the experimental results to validate the numerical results. Next, if you see the simulation, generally people are adopting the two ways to simulate once the model is ready in this. One is what we will call time domain analysis. Time domain analysis means with respect to certain time, how my system developed is behaves with respect to time it is. Time is a varying parameter, or if you will go the frequency response for the sinusoidal input, you have to sweep the frequency for 0.1 hertz to 1000 hertz and how my system will behave in terms of natural frequency, eigen mode, whatever it is, you have to predict. Both are playing a major role in the industry. Let us quickly move on to the one valve, jet pipe electrohydraulic servo valve, which works on the flow dividing type. It basically consists of the torque motor assembly, first stage, second stage is a valve assembly. As we know already, this jet pipe will carry the continuous fluid supply pressure, you will see PS, and it will expel from the nozzle. when it will hit the receiver plate, has a two closely drilled holes connected to the spool end. Whenever the jet pipe is at the center, equal amount of flow will go into the two receiver with some losses. Then spool will not move. Once the jet pipe will deflect, how it will deflect? By applying the torque on the armature, it will rotate. That time more flow will come to the here, and proportionately less flow will go here. P1 minus P2 results in delta P, and spool starts moving. During the spool motion, this is the feedback spring is there. Feedback spring also push such a way that for the given torque input, the spool will push the feedback spring, meaning it is a restoring torque is developed through the spool movement to bring back the jet pipe to the null position. This I have already explained in the last class. Also, you will remember friends, nozzle standoff distance is also playing a major process parameter. Quickly I will show you the one more slide. Already you are seeing this slide in the previous class. The whole objective in the jet pipe electrohydraulic servo valve, convert the pressure energy of the fluid into the kinetic energy of the jet here when it will expel. Then kinetic energy is reconverted into the pressure energy in the two receiver holes, meaning which will create the delta P at the spool ends based on the jet pipe deflection either to the left or to the right. Then what happens friends? Spool displacement takes place due to the delta P, then which will results to the flow Q to the actuator. Then piston displaces, which in turn controls the actuator load precisely. This is a basic principle as we have seen in the last class. Quickly you will see it consists of the first stage torque motor. Torque motor armature is there, north pole piece, south pole piece, permanent magnet, coil I1 and I2. If I1 is greater than I2, jet pipe will deflect in one direction. If I2 is greater than I1, it will deflect in the other direction. What for it is? To create the differential pressure across the spool valve, in turn sending to the flow to the left side of the actuator or right side of the actuator. Very important friends it is, you will remember. Then to model this jet pipe electrohydraulic servo valve, first and foremost thing is you have to understand the theoretical concept in it, how pressure recovery will takes place in the first stage when the jet pipe will deflect to the left side or a right side. This is what we will call it as a area modulation. What is area modulation? You will see left receiver, this is a left receiver, then here it is a right receiver hole. On the top of it we will see it is a nozzle over it. These receiver diameter, nozzle diameter plays a very important role to create the this areas A1 and A2. If nozzle is moved towards here, this area is increasing proportionately, at the same time this area goes on decreasing and vice versa. Please remember. Also please take care friends, many parameters are there, design parameter, all the receiver holes, nozzle are on the same axis. There should not be an offset. If it is offset, this area will changes. If this area will changes, P1 and P2 are different across the spool, then dynamics will affect. That is a very important. Please take care for this. I will tell you what are the other parameter in the next slide. Second time you will see here friends, when the spool will starts moving, what happen? The flow will takes place to the C1 or C2. That time second stage area modulation. Area modulation you will see the ports are here, as I have told you in the last class, octagonal ports are there here. only you will see this is a 1 mm into 45 degree, meaning it will not move 1 mm within a 0.25 mm, the complete flow is going to an actuator. Then you will see how to control this spool very precisely. You must calculate the area modulation, second stage area modulation also, because the first stage area modulation, second stage area modulations are very important in the finite element modeling, because we have to input it in the model. I will show you later, no need to worry now, friends. Now, we will see the theoretical investigation is essential to know the pressure and flow variation, which is a function of jet and spool. When the jet pipe will starts rotating over the receiver, pressure variation takes place and flow variation takes place. Then as the spool moves, again the flow variation and pressure variation takes place. These are very important, you must know it this. So, the first stage flow, as I have told you, Q in, how much flow is coming in whenever the jet pipe is center or it is deflected, which consists of Q in 1 and Q in 2 in the left receiver and right receiver. Similarly, Q out means after pushing the spool, no passage it come out, Q out, meaning Q out 1 and Q out 2 to the receivers 1 and 2, correct friend. Similarly, second stage, no load flow and leakage flows are essential.